Hello everybody, it's Dawn. Welcome back. Well, I've got on with it. I've done all the measurements and the preparation, so I thought I'd get straight on with this. Many of you have said you wanted me to do a tutorial, or you've asked me to do a tutorial on how we make this rather splendid letter writing set which stands on a desk. Now, in my previous video I said it would probably be a couple of days, but as some of you have said you want to make them in time for Christmas, I thought I'd crack on and we get on with it. It's going to be in, I know I said originally we'd do it in 2 parts. Well, that's a bit ambitious, and it might be a bit unfair as well, because there's quite a bit of measuring. In fact, there's a lot of measuring to do. So we're going to break it down. The case will be in 2 parts, and the contents will probably be in 2 parts, possibly 1, but realistically it'll probably be 2. So we're going to do it in a different colour and a different pattern. So we're going to put this to one side, and we know, first of all, we need, I've used white mount board, but you can use medium to heavyweight chipboard if you want to. Or if you haven't got that, use cereal boxes. You might have to save them up and stack about 3 or 4 together. I'd say 4. But I've used mount board, which is white. And, oops, where did that come from? Right. Oh, right, yeah, we don't need that just yet. It stuck itself, sorry folks. Now this, I'm using butterfly paper, and this is wrapping paper. And you will need a piece of board, whatever you're using for your base or for your case, of either mount board or medium to heavyweight chipboard, and that needs to be 9 by 8 inches. And I will put all of these measurements in the description box below because there are quite a lot. And you will need a cover. This is the cover, and I've done this 2 inches bigger all over, so it's 11 by 10, and the lining is 8.5 by 7.5. So I've already gone ahead and covered that. All I did was I put some glue on the board, stuck it, wrapped it round, and I've stuck the liner on the back. Or this will be on the inside, this part here will be the inside. So I'm going to slide that, or actually I need to slide it where I can still see my measurements. You will also need a front part, and that measures 9 by 5. The cover, this part here, I've done it at 11 by 7, and the lining 8.5 by 4.5, and we've got that there. You need a baseboard. This is a bit that sits on the desk. I know this is an awful lot to take in, but don't worry, I will put it all in the description box. You don't have to scribble a brush about to scribble to write it. You will need a baseboard, and that is 9 by 3. The cover, this lovely paper here, is 11 by 5, and the lining is 8.5 by 2.5. I had to think then. And that will go on there. And then you need 2 end pieces, which we will be cutting down a bit later on. And your end pieces, or side panel, I think I called them side panels. You'll need 2 of these, and they measure 3 by 8. The cover measures 5 by 10, and the liner is 2.5 by 7.5. Now on this one I'm going to show you what I've done. So I've covered it there. All I've done is I've had it 2 inches bigger, laid it in the middle, wrapped it round and glued it. And you can see my mount board on the back. And all I've done, let me just grab some glue. I'm going to, on the last one, I just thought I'd quickly show you how we put this together. So this, even the liner paper, is just wrapping paper, and to make it a bit stronger I've added it to some thin card. In this case it's cartridge paper, but ordinary cardstock will be fine. So I've used cartridge paper because that's what I've got loads of. So that's probably the last time that the glue stick will make an appearance for today anyway. And then all we do is we turn that over and slide it where we want it. You can use tape, but as always, if you use tape, you need to get it in the right place the first time, otherwise you can't reposition it. In most cases you can't anyway. So now we've done that, we need to start putting it together. And to put it together, you need hinges, or you will need hinges. And I'm going to show you my hinges. Well, first of all, we're going to bring in the base, because you can't do anything without the base. So we're going to put the front, or the back actually, the tallest part, the back to the base, like that. And for that, you will need a hinge. We're going to put them together And you will need a hinge, if I can find my hinge. And you will need a hinge covering, or a hinge piece. You'll need 2 of these, one for the back, one for the front. And they are 9 inches by 2 inches. So that, I've got 2 here. And what I'm going to do, I have got some double-sided tape on my hinge. That's the bit that you're going to see. But that's so that you can get an instant stick. But I wouldn't rely on double-sided tape to hold it, because over time the tape can come apart. So I'm going to use a construction glue. Any construction weight glue will do. I'm using the Pritt craft glue. You can use glitter glue, you can use collal glue. Any strong glue that makes your project go hard once it's dry will do. But I'm just using it over the tape so that we have got an instant stick. So for this one you do need to put the lid back on each time, which is a bit of a pain, but never mind. So we'll manage. So what we do is we line them up together so that they're flush with each other. So they are butt, so that they're right next to each other. And of course with this glue you have got quite a bit of time before it dries. Make sure the seams are in the middle, like that. And you can push it together. You have got quite a bit of time to get this into place. It's not like using tape where you have to get it right first time. And then just push it down. So because you've got tape on it, you've got that instant stick, which is absolutely wonderful. And don't worry about all this glue, it will dry. It's a clear glue anyway. So once it's dry, it will dry clear. Now I just need to move some of these other hinges out the way because I can see this going for a tumble. Because I need to be able to move that up a bit now. Because we need to bring the front part in. And that's that bit. And of course if you've got directional, if your card is directional, do make sure you put it the right way around. This one isn't particularly. So again, I'm going to line that up like that. I'm going to find my other hinge, which again is 9 by 2 inches. And what you do is you fold it in half so that the patterned part is facing inwards. So that's what we're going to do. And again, I'm going to take the backing tape off like that. Lay it down so that the sticky side is up, or facing up, for a moment anyway. And then we're going to grab some more of our construction glue, our heavyweight glue. I wouldn't use hot glue for this. You could do, but the only problem with hot glue is it does dry rather quickly and you might not have time to put it down. It might dry before you get it into place. So unless you can do this super quick, I know I can't, so which is one of the reasons I haven't. So unless you're confident that you can do it super quick, I'd avoid using hot glue if I were you. So we're going to put all the hinges down first. Like that. And that will sit like that. And once it's dry, this, if you use construction weight glue, once it's dry, it will be strong. So the next thing you need are your side panels. And line them up. Can you see that? You can, excellent. So line it up like that, and you will need, oh no, not that one. You will need another hinge, which is 3 by 2. And again, oh, we're running out of room here, aren't we? If I put that up there so you can still see what I'm doing. We will take, again, we'll do exactly the same thing. We're going to do everything in real time. I'm not going to speed anything up or cut anything out because this is a brand new project and a brand new type of project. I'm not going to leave anything out. I'm going to do everything in real time. And the other thing about doing it in real time, once you've got all your bits and pieces cut out, measured and cut out, and your liners put together, it will give you a rough idea of how long it's going to take you to assemble. So we're going to put that in there like that. And now we need to slide. Now I'm going to have to move these bits again because otherwise they're going to just slide on the floor. So I'm going to put those over there just for a second. I need to slide that over there. And again, I'm going to line that up if I can find where it goes. Yeah, that goes there, that's fine. So we're going to line that up. Oh, we can see, that's easier, we can see now. Again, we're going to take the backing tape off of the hinge so that we've got that instant stick. We're going to put some glue on. You can use glitter glue for this if you want to, it's brilliant stuff. So this is the equivalent of glitter glue, this Pritt craft glue, but as I've said, any construction weight glue will be absolutely perfect. So we're going to do that, and then we've got a piece that, I'm not quite sure what it looks like. It looks a bit like an aeroplane at the moment. But what we're going to do now, we have got 4 hinges for attaching the sides to the front and back, and they measure 2 by 5, and you will need 4 of those, and we've got those there like that, and there's the other one. And what we're going to do with those, I'm going to leave those up there. We're going to put them on, we're going to do this together, but we're going to do it at a reasonable pace, but one at a time. So if I put that there so you can still see it, and again we're going to put some glue on like that. We're going to put our glue just like that, and what we need to do now, we need to, which way is the best way to do it? I don't think it makes much difference, to tell you the truth. If I pull that down, we'll do the back part first. So that needs to go like that. So, and then this bit and this side panel will come up, and that will push together like that. Now, you will need a top part, and I will show you how we cope with that in just a minute. In fact, to begin with, what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some sticky tape on there just to hold that into place. In fact, that'll probably do, because that's quite strong. Once that dries, it hasn't dried yet, of course, but once it's dried, it will be quite strong. So we're going to do that, and we're going to do that on the other side. So again, let's move that over. It's difficult to keep everything in frame, but we're doing our best here. So we'll just slide that over, put that there. We might have to just keep on, I might just have to keep on moving it about so that you can still see what I'm doing at every stage. And we're going to slide some glue like that, just like that, get off. So that's the only problem with doing it this way. You do get very, very sticky. So now I was just trying to work out the best way of doing it. So if we stick that right to the edge like that, if I bring that forward a bit, hopefully you can see it. So you're going to put that right on the edge of the back, and then fold it in, bring that up like that, and we're going to bring that in again and give it a good stick all on the inside. The other way you can do this is you could put your liner on, you could put the hinges on first and then put the liner on the outside, which is another way of doing it. And just for now, again, we're going to put some tape around there just to hold it in place until that sets up. So there's a gap there, so any gaps you see, just grab yourself some crystal clear sticky tape, and I'm going to rock that over there, and this will just hold it in place until the glue dries. And that would, I would suggest, before you go any further, once you've done this section, I would suggest leaving it overnight to dry, because it needs to dry hard. So just to hold it in place while it dries. And it doesn't really matter if you keep it on there, because it's, if you use the crystal clear stuff, you can't see it anyway, and it will add strength. So now you've got a piece that looks like that. And so we just need to put the other 2 hinges on now. How are we doing for time? Well, we're not doing too badly. So that's the other reason I suggested or worked out that we're going to need to do this in more than 2 parts, because of the time, because it's quite a lengthy project. It's a lengthy project to teach, not necessarily to do. Once you're just doing it, you'll just carry on and you'll do it. And I would suggest, just a quick tip, if you're planning to make these to sell, My advice would be to make templates of every bit that you're likely to need, because then you don't have to, well, it's not a waste of time, but you don't have to spend time cutting. Well, you do have to spend time cutting, but you don't have to measure each time. So we've just got one more of these. So we'll just put, if I just slide that over just for a minute, and we'll put that on the other side, and we'll do both together. So we'll just put, oh, that's fine. We'll just put that there and that there. Oh, pop the lid back on because we won't need it anymore just yet. And again, we're going to line that up with that right to the edge. So if we stick that to the edge like that. And the other thing about having glue on top of tape, you can lift it again. So we're going to now lift that up like that and slide that into place. And once again, I am going to put some tape just to hold it into place until the glue dries, which, as I mentioned, will probably need to be overnight. So we're just going to glue that down, or tape that into place like that, and that will make it really strong. We're going to, because this is already lifting, because I'm moving, the reason it's lifting like that is because I'm moving it about so that I can get it in place, into position to show you. So I am just going to very quickly tape that all into position and pull it tight. So just pull it nice and tight, and it will give you a good stick. So just give it a good pull. So yeah, that's why that's doing that. So we're going to do that. We're going to tape it all the way around. You won't see the tape. If you use clear tape, you won't see it, so don't worry. So we're just going to get this part done. We're actually almost done for this section, guys. So I know it's a lot of measuring, but which is the other reason I've decided to put it into smaller, break it down into smaller chunks. Now, there's just one little bit. Oh, there's a bit there at the back. There's always one bit that doesn't stick. So we're just going to put that there and tape it like that. So that'll do for that bit. There's always one little bit that sticks up, which doesn't actually. We can slide that down, that's no problem. We might be able to get away with just sliding that back down and just leaving it alone to stick for a bit. Now, the other thing we need to do, there's one more thing we need to do before we sign off. We need to cut these at an angle. If you want to keep it like that, you can. But because my original was at an angle, what we're going to do is now, I'm going to have to rock this backwards. So what we need to do, we need to cut it at an angle from that corner to the front edge. So take your scissors. I would normally say, wait till it's dry before you do this. So we're just going to, because it's quite difficult to do it while it's wet actually. I would normally say, do wait for it to dry before you do this part, but we're going to risk it and do it now. So we got away with that. And I'm going to do the same on the other side. So I'm just going to take my scissors like that and cut it at an angle, like that. So, but my advice will be, when you do this, don't do it until the glue's dry. So we're just going to get that there. There's always one corner where the scissors just can't quite reach. So, but we'll get there in the end. So we're going to just do that. Snip that. Oh, I can see what's happened. Yeah, it really is better to wait for this to dry. Hey, and that wasn't supposed to happen, but that doesn't matter. So what we're going to do now, we've got it to that stage. And what I'm going to suggest we do now is leave it there, and we're going to let it dry. And when you come back, I shall probably be back again tomorrow. And when we come back, all this will have dried. This will settle and stop rising. I'm just going to finish off. All I'm going to do is take some extra paper and finish off around here. And you'll see what I've done tomorrow. And then I will show you how we finish this box. So I hope you've enjoyed that so far and that you found it useful, and I'm going to stop playing with it and leave it alone to dry. And I will see you tomorrow for the rest of this box. So until then, thank you so much for watching. Please continue to stay subscribed and hit that notification, especially if you're taking part in this series of this box set, because you won't want to miss the rest of it. So I'll be back tomorrow to show you how we finish the box, and we will be adding a lid. And we'll be adding a lid with a ribbon tie. So that will be tomorrow. And I'll see you then. And in the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Stay safe, everybody. Take care. Have fun. And as always, happy crafting. Bye-bye for now.